If you're looking for a new and exciting way to make cake pops, stay tuned because I'm going to show you how to make these cake cones. Not only are they so cute, they're just as delicious as cake pops. If you haven't watched my cake pop recipe video, please go back and watch that. That's what I'm using here. Using a food scale, you want to measure out your cake pop dough. I like to do about 40 grams. This ensures that all of your cake pop, cake cones, they all look even, and some aren't larger than others. Using this measurement and my cake pop dough recipe that I've shared, you'll get roughly about 24 cake pop balls. I like to squeeze the dough between my hands and really compact it. Make it perfectly round between your palms. You want to make sure that there's no cracks or anything so that you get a super smooth finish. If you see any little lines, just use your fingertips to kind of smooth it out. And this is what it should look like once you're done. I like to make all the balls and put them aside on a piece of parchment paper. Then I like to prepare the chocolate. Here I am using candy melts and I warm it up at 30-second intervals, mixing in between. This particular chocolate that I used is like a rainbow chip chocolate. It was really pretty. If your chocolate is a little too thick, you can add a tiny bit of either coconut oil or a tiny bit of shortening to thin it out. Now for the cones, these are the cones that I like to use. They're kind of like sugar cones or waffle cones, but you want the tops to be flat, not curved in like traditional waffle cones. I want to take a moment to give full credit to Anna's Heavenly Desserts. That's where I saw these cake cones for the very first time. These are a signature dessert that she makes, treat maker, and when I saw them, I knew I needed to try it myself. It was a bit of a trial and error trying to figure it out, but here I am. You want to make sure that your cone is not broken in any way before you start. I personally like to coat the inside with chocolate. Now I learned this because the first time I made them, I didn't do that and my cones got soggy. This creates a nice hard shell of chocolate. It actually makes it very pleasant to eat the cone afterwards. You can use a spoon to kind of spread it around, and then I like to shake out all the extra. It just ensures that you get a nice, clean, even coating. That's what the inside should look like. Now we're ready for the next step. Find yourself some tiny little round sprinkles like this. I find if you can find the all white ones, those are the best, but I have these ones and they go with the theme, so it's fine. Put them into a container, make sure your chocolate is nearby. Now I'm going to dip the cones straight into the chocolate and then roll them into these tiny round sprinkles. Now, not only is this going to give the ice cream cone the little edge, when you put the ice cream on a cone, you get the little fluffy edges, but it's also going to help keep your cake pop in the cone. So don't skip this step. I remember I tried it once without and it just kind of looked weird. And there you have it. Now you're going to take your cake pop and you're going to dip it in some chocolate to get the bottom nice and coated, and you're going to place it right on top. There you go. You might have to make your cake pops a little bit bigger if you're finding that they're falling all the way through. Here I'm going to show you one more time. You're going to dip it, wipe off the excess, and then dip it straight into the round sprinkles. Would be a great time to tell you that I am new to YouTube. I have always been on TikTok, but I am exploring YouTube. If you enjoy these types of tutorial videos or you like relaxing ASMR cake decorating and cookie decorating videos, then please give me a follow because that's the type of content that I enjoy sharing. I was previously a teacher for 10 years and I turned a self-taught baker. I'm basically sharing everything that I'm learning in my journey with all of you. Okay, now that you have all your cake pops in your cones, it comes time to dip. You're going to want to have some type of cake cone holder, or ice cream cone holder, I should say. Otherwise, your cones are going to get wrecked after dipping. Dip them straight in just like you would a regular cake pop. Here, I'm using a massage gun against my hand to kind of shake off the extra chocolate. I find that this is super effective, but not necessary. I'll show you how I do it without it. But just take a look at how smooth that is. I like to give it another shake and you'll see that all the chocolate just smooths out so you don't have any strips or, little blobs or anything like that. Now here I'm going to show you the traditional way, which is just tapping off the extra, and it is important to tap off the extra. Otherwise, you're just going to have a super bumpy looking ice cream cone and it's just not going to look cute. Give your hand several taps. I also like to kind of shake and swirl the cake cone, and you'll see you get the same results. And again, I tap my hand again. I actually find making cake cones so much easier than making cake pops or even cakesicles for that matter. If you need to show you a tutorial on how to make cakesicles, let me know and I definitely can do that. But yeah, I think the reason is because the cake pop is nice and secure inside the cake or inside the ice cream cone, whereas cake pops and Cakesicles, they often fall off the stick. Now, here comes the fun part, and it does take a little bit of practice, but you're going to melt some chocolate into a piping bag, and you can be as creative as you want. You can do swirls and designs, whatever it is that your heart desires. If you're not feeling so confident with this step just yet, you can also decorate your cake cones using chocolate molds, and I'll show you that in just a second. Here are the finished cake cones. You can see that I used chocolate molds for the bows, roses, and teddy bears. This is such an easy yet elevated dessert item to offer. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you found it helpful, it would mean the world to me if you would subscribe and follow along. Okay, bye.